BERNINA, click and create. Quilt as you go on the Q series with frame. Today we're going to be piecing and quilting our project right on the frame. This is one of the easiest and quickest ways to finish your project. We're going to be using the Q24 or the Q20 on the BERNINA frame, the BERNINA channel locks, the BERNINA ruler work kit, which is optional, and a new needle. We like to start each new project with a new needle. Today we're using a 90s jeans needle. We used a Crazy 8 Cuddles kit from Shannon's Fabric, or you could use Cuddle or Minky fabric to equal 7 strips 10 inches wide by the width of the fabric. The backing fabric is 2 1/3 yards. The binding fabric is 1/3 yard. The batting is approximately 60 by 78, and we used a 50-50 bamboo cotton batting, or you could use the batting of your choice. Use your favorite quilting thread for this project. From your 7 strips 10 inches wide by the width of the fabric, you want to keep 4 at 10 inches wide by the width of the fabric. Take 2 of the 10-inch wide strips and subcut them into 4 5-inch wide strips. Take 1 10-inch wide strip and subcut it into 4 2.5-inch wide strips. We fussy cut our row 7 because it had elephants on it. If you have no need to fussy cut, you can leave that strip 10 inches wide as well. From the 1/3 yard cut for binding, we subcut 5 strips 2 inches wide by the width of the fabric. Stitch those strips together end to end using an angle and making sure that the nap is going in the same direction. Load the backing fabric on the frame with the cut edge of the backing attached to the leaders. The selvage edge will be along the side for the clamps to clamp to. Firm up your backing, but don't stretch it. Place your batting on top of your backing. Set your machine at 8 stitches per inch. Throughout this project, we will be using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. We use the variation 1 layout in the Cuddles kit, but you certainly could use any layout you want. Here is a suggestion, or you could use 10-inch wide strips all the way down, or subcut your 10-inch into 5-inch strips and use only 5-inch strips. Either way will look very nicely. Each strip can be quilted differently or the same. Each strip will be fine with no quilting at all if that's what you desire. If you own the BERNINA Q-matic automated system, you could pick a few pantographs and quilt away. Some suggestion for the quilting in the strips: maybe you want to do a stippling or a meandering, or maybe loops, or maybe some geometric shapes would look nice on your quilt. The first thing we're going to do is baste the backing and the batting together with a straight line. We're going to select BSR3, our basing mode, on our Q series, and we're going to select 4 stitches per inch. We're going to set the channel lock on the carriage, and then we're going to baste a straight line across the backing and the batting. This straight line will also be used as the placement line for your first strip. Lay your first strip on the backing and the batting with the top edge of the strip even with the basting line. Change your BSR mode to 2 and make sure that your stitches per inch is at 8. Pin the strip to secure. Stitch across the top edge of the strip, continuing to use the channel locks. Lay the second strip on top of the first strip, right sides together. Make sure the nap of the fabrics are going in the same direction. Pin to secure. Move the machine so that you can stitch the 2 strips together through the backing and the batting at the same time. Lock the channel lock on the X-axis and stitch across. Fold the second strip down so that it is now face up and pin to secure. Quilt the first strip if you desire. Lay the third strip on top of the second strip, face down, and pin. Move the machine so that you can stitch the strips together through the batting and the backing. Lock the channel lock and stitch across. Fold the third strip down so that it is now face up and pin to secure. Quilt the second strip if you desire. Place the fourth strip on top of the third strip, pinned to secure. Move the machine so that you can stitch the strips together through the batting and the backing. Lock the channel lock and stitch across. Fold the fourth strip down so it is now facing up and pin to secure. Quilt the third strip if desired. Repeat this process until the last strip is attached and folded down so that it is facing up. Stitch across the bottom of the quilt using the channel locks as before. Quilt if you desire. Remove the quilt from the frame and square it up. Stitch the binding on using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Fold the binding over the edge and either hand stitch or use a machine decorative stitch to attach. Some tips on using cuddle and minking fabric. Make sure that the nap of the cuddle or minky is going in the same direction on the top of the quilt. This will make your quilt feel more snuggly. A little longer stitch length will help your quilt lay flatter, so try 6 or 8 stitches per inch. Always stitch in the same direction. There is a little movement of the top fabric, and you want it to move the same on every strip when piecing and quilting with this type fabric. Pins are your friends. Don't be shy with the pins. The more secure, the better the quilt. With our Q series, both the 20 and the 24 when they're on the frame have adjustable handles, so don't forget the handle that you're not using can be moved up and out of your way. To help stabilize the strip as you stitch across, you could use your hand to walk across the strip with your machine, or you could use the ruler work base and the ruler to help stabilize the strip as you stitch across. Enjoy your new quilt and have a wonderful day.